Welcome back, everybody, to Fuller's Outdoor Country. My name is Gary, and we want to welcome you if this is your first time or your 100th time. What we're going to be doing today is we got some fields still yet to cut due to all the rain we've had this spring. We haven't been able to do nothing, and we're going to start cleaning up old metal storage areas, equipment storage areas. You know, every farm had an area that they like to pile their stuff up. Well, this is over close to almost 50 years now of stuff being piled up, and it's piled up right in the middle of one of our good fields. So we're going to try to work on it. This will probably be it'll probably be a couple weeks or maybe a month project, but we're going to get the field mowed first. And we cut some of the brush and trees in the fall last year. We didn't film it, but we got some of that out of the way. And it's in the middle of May. Can't remember what day it is, but it was 30-some degrees last night. It was 80 yesterday and 30-some degrees last night. So I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you what we're talking about. All right, you can see this area. You can see there's our old tobacco barn up in there. It's getting pretty rough shape, and got the big monstrous white oaks right there around it. You got three just enormous white oaks. They're all right here. But you can see over the years, anything that tore up or they might thought they might use was piled down here. And the field starts over here, and as you can see, comes up through here. It goes all the way over next to where the barn is at. And you waste this entire field, basically right down the middle. So what we're planning on doing, I cut a lot of the trees already to get them out of the way. We'll come in here and clean these up, pile this up, and start moving some of this metal around. Probably haul it off to the metal yard or whatever. I don't know what's even in here, so looks like a lot of metal. This blocks off one of our biggest fields, and we tried to plant it some last year. This field's really rough. I mean, they tobacco farmed it for years and years and years and never done nothing to put back into the soil. And plus we got all these big trees around the edge here we're going to try to cut off. Most of them's all white oak, and a lot of them's going to have to go because we're cutting the like I said, it's blocking our sunlight of the evening in this field, covered it up. And then the tree is here, but the branches are all the way out to here. So I mean, you're talking about over half of the field here has roots in it, and it just sucks this area dry, especially in the middle of the summer. But we started a food plot here last year. It was just so dry that it didn't get to make nothing. It's just now coming in this spring. But we had some Country Boy seed that we used last year. It's called Trophy Rack Deer Blend. And then we had some leftover crimson clover. This was a catch-all field. Whatever we had left over, we put it in the field to try to help build it up. But you can see the soil is so poor down here. Like I said, the trees pull all the water, moisture out of it. So, and that crimson clover didn't make it very big. Our other crimson clover field out there is probably 18 to 20 inches tall. But it's just some of the stuff we got up in here to clean up. This is a huge area with this. What I can mostly see is metal scraps. Old heat pump, lawn mowers, stuff like that. So it's going to take us a while to clean it up. This will probably be a drawn out process, but we can get this cleaned up. We got all this area over here to use. And it just goes up. I'm going to give you a bird's eye view, but you can see how poor the soil is. Just hardly anything come up. It's just, it was so dry. There's some stuff that growed, and you can tell it didn't get about a foot tall, but this end here is really needs some, gonna need some tender love and care. But now as you get out this way here, up in this area, away from the trees, look at the difference. Look how more lush. I mean, look at the tops on the rye and stuff in here. This is this is probably over 4 foot tall. The clover's even bigger there. If you can see the crimson clover in there. That's where we come from, and you can tell the difference how sparse. It's due to the trees here. I mean, they pull all the moisture out. We can make them into some nice logs and some good firewood, whatever the rest we have left over. I hate to cut white oaks, but all these white oaks are dying. We got some kind of bug that's moved in. It's killing all of our trees. And right over here is straight down cliffed area, so it's no value for us. We were going to fence it in and put goats in there, but this goats are just so much trouble. We got to creek down here at the bottom, a couple of churches and neighbors, and if goats get out, that's the first place they go. But you can see the big difference. I mean, you can see how nice this is compared to, I mean, some of this is to the bottom of my chin, and I'm 5'11", and this is right here is the bottom of my chin right here. I'll give you a little bit better view. What we're going to do today, we're going to try to get this all brush hogged, and hopefully we'll be able to get in here and clean this up and get a plow to it. I might try to bring some have some mulch hauled in here and plow it in to help this soil, because it just won't retain any moisture. All right, enough jabbering. I'm gonna get back to work on this. It's probably gonna take 2 or 3 hours. This has got a 5 foot bush hog, but like I said, this is gonna be a pretty good sized job, but we got to get it cleaned up, and that's just part of living on a farm. And like I said, this is over the years, stuff just accumulating, piling up, and it's just taking too much property up. So, all right, let's get on it and get with it. We ain't getting nothing done. Make sure when you're brush hogging, wear your safety glasses, hearing protection. You know, I thought when I was younger I was invincible. I didn't need none of that stuff, but after I got older, I wish I would have listened to my dad. So, but all right, everyone, I'm gonna get out here and get started. We'll set you up and let you see what's going on. tractor it is right here. So this side doesn't really. Out here's where we're talking about all the metal. Been piled up and stuff. Woo. See that big right there? Now that baby would have tore a bush hog all to pieces. Glad I've seen it. You can see all the stuff that's piled up here. That's what we're going to have to remove. All right, I'm gonna take a break for a minute and daggone pollen. Excuse me, pollen off of this rye is about to choke me to death. We got most of the field mowed. Got most of the field mowed now, and whew, the pollen was terrible. It's making it rough to breathe. And talk about breathing, I'm going to show you something called mullein. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to show it to you. It grows wild. It's a herb, natural herb. You can make a tincture out of it. You can make tea out of it. And you can smoke it. If you have pneumonia or the flu or anything like that, something in your lungs, it'll help break it up. But I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to try to harvest some of it because this field's full of it. And I'm mowing it over. So I'm going to try to get some of it before I get it done. But I wanted to take you out here and show you what it looked like. We're getting her done though. But somebody's going to probably why I didn't turn this into straw. But I'm trying to build soil right now. I'm not worried about straw. If I don't build the soil, I ain't gonna have no straw and stuff in the future. So, but there's a shot again of the metal pile. I don't know how many truckloads is in here. I'm probably gonna start out here at this end first and clean it this away to right here. Looks like most of it's piled right here, but she looks good. There's a little bit of everything in here: crown vetch and rye and clover and Australian peas and rapeseed, and but that ain't what I was wanting to show you. I done run over some of it here. About breaks my heart to cut down this stuff. Didn't know it was there, but that's called mullein. And you can, if you'll research mullein, you will see all of the uses it has for natural benefits. I'm not a doctor. I'm not just telling you to do this stuff. I'm just telling you what I know about, read about, and used. But there's a little bit bigger picture of it. It takes 2 years to mature. It's a biannual plant. It'll grow so much. The first year establish its root, and then it'll grow into a stalk and seed. But you can see I've done cut a bunch of it off. I didn't see it till I was done mowed it over. And here's some more here. But like I said, if you suffer with breathing problems, and stuff. You might want to check into mullein. You can, like I said, you can make tinctures out of it. But there's a nice plant. You can do tinctures. You can smoke it. And also, you can tinctures can be used for earaches. It's probably one of the best things there is for earaches. But like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to use this stuff. I use it myself personally, but that's me. You do what you want. I ain't telling you to. But as you can see here, let's get back to the field. Once we got away from the tree line, people don't realize, most people don't, as far as that tree limb comes out, that's where your root line will run to. So you can see everywhere, everything from that way in really had no growth, where it sucks all the moisture out. But you'll see out in here, we're past the line of the tree line out here, where the roots just pulls the moisture, and look at what grows out here. I mean, you can see everything's way healthier. There's all kinds of turnips and stuff in here, I see. But we planted this last year for cover crop and for the deer. I wanted to show you a bear trail I got coming in here. I noticed it earlier. I've seen him 3 or 4 days now, but he has a trail wore out. And here it is. You can see where he's been. He must like mullein too. Looks like he's took a couple, but he's literally wore this trail out in here. They don't stay on our farm. They just pass through in the spring breeding season. And when the berries start ripening, we have a lot of wild blackberries, raspberries. There's what she's looking like. This is our other field over here. I'm gonna try to plant field corn in this section there this year. I planted some corn that was handed down from my uncle, and it was all white. And I've got, right in the middle of the patch, I had 4 years of corn was crimson red. Have no idea how that happened. And some of the others have white with red stripes in it. So, but she's looking pretty good. Like I said, you can see right here, right at the edge of this, the tree line is. And you can see how little this is and how much taller this is. So if you're planting around tree lines and stuff, yeah, you need to know that these big oaks and stuff suck up, I'd say they suck up hundreds of gallons of water. This field right here is notorious for rocks. I mean, I can go through and pick up rocks till I turn blue in the face, and I think they just keep on manufacturing them. But there's rocks, there's rocks. I'm gonna have to find me a sturdy rock rake to pull behind the tractor, clean this stuff up. But like I said, them old big oaks right there, they pull a ton of water, and they block your fields. But a lot of them back in the day have fence in them. Farmers back in the day, they didn't care. Fastest way they could put up fence without spending any money is what they done. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about right here. You can see there's barbed wire growing out of the dead center of this big, huge white oak tree. If we can get above this here, get above this here and cut it out, I can get a nice size log out of this. Well, actually a couple logs, but a really good, nice prime log. But all these that goes around the field here, even out there where the tractor's sitting, every one of them has barbed wire in it. Run high dollar white oak trees. Like I said, back in the day, 50 plus years ago, they didn't care. If they was putting up fence and save a fence post, they just nailed it to a tree. But if you can hear the traffic, I'm gonna walk over here and show you what I was talking about, the straight down cliff. Unusable land for us, but we pay full-blown taxes on it, but you can't use it for nothing. Here's what I want to show you. It's straight downhill. Even the goats have to have one leg shorter than the other to walk on it, but we got two churches down there. We got a old-timey church here, and one right through the woods there is a new Baptist church. And the goats like to go down there and visit them, so I don't know if we're going to get any more goats. I was keeping goats to try to keep this cleaned off, but that's what we got. If that was all flattened out straight land, we'd have some beautiful land, but this is all solid rock cliffed in here. A lot of people ask, why do they hear traffic? And I just wanted to show you why. We're next to a big 4-lane road. All right, she's looking good. You can really see the difference there. See how thin that is? Until it gets right in there. And look how thick it gets. No sunlight, no water. And the farther we get away from the trees, the thicker and taller it gets. So when you're planting, keep that in mind. All right, I will get back to bush hogging, and we'll bring you back when we get this done. Well, we got her done, everybody. Woo! This old field about beat this old man to death. Poor bush hog, buddy. It's about had all it can stand. But, she looks good out through there. You can't hardly see here for over the hump, but it goes way out through there. But this is the field we usually do clover in. We got a little road comes down right here. Well, it ain't a road, you know, just tractor path. And this side is what we call one field, and this is the other field. This soil out here is usually pretty good. It's got a lot of trees around here that blocks the sun off of it, and we're going to try to take care of them later on this summer. But I mowed it about 6 to 8 inches high. So maybe some of the clover that we had in here, usually when it flowers it kills crimson clover, but some of it may come in, I don't know, back in. I just left it that high in case I don't have time to plow soon, because I like to turn this in and get all this green matter turned into soil, because like I said, we're trying to build the soil up at this point. But we got a path going down through here, goes way over there on that point. Got a huge walnut over there. I don't know how big it is. But you know that old story about does a bear you know what in the woods? Well, I'm gonna try to answer that question for you here just in a second. I mowed a little path down this way for now, but I still got all this to brush hog, full of blackberries right now, and that's why the bears and stuff, they move in here to mate. They don't stay on here. We just got 50 acres, but we're surrounded with big mountains, and they'll come in every spring have their little ones on here, and then the sows will bring their little ones back, and then they'll come in here to feed on the blackberries and raspberries. But here's the answer to your question. There's a big fresh pile of bare, you know what. So that answers the questions if bears do it in the woods. Yes, they do. But we still got all this big area in here to brush hog it, and we'll be doing this throughout the summer, cleaning this farm back up. It's got away over the last couple of years, but I've been working on it, trying to build it back. And my father passed away in 2013, and that was mine and his goal to try to get this farm doing good again, but he didn't get to see it. But I've been following what me and him was supposed to do. I think he'd be pretty proud of it. But I never knowed rye had so much pollen on it. It plugged up my radiator twice, and I'm having a little difficulty breathing myself. So we're going to go back out here and talk a little bit more about the field, about the all the metal stuff we have to clean up. I'm trying not to bore you with all this, but you know, cutting all this brush is a job, and you just got to do it. And if you don't, it gets away from you. So let's go out here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and then that'll be about at the end for today. So I'll see you here in a minute. All right, we made it back here right here where the metal's at. You can see behind me here, we got her all done. Still got a little bit to do, but it's just been a major job, and I'm getting old. My brain says I'm still 20, but my body feels like it's 100. All right, you can see this was the old metal dumping area, and it's pretty much well right in the middle of this field. There's a big old brush hog. I didn't know it was man, oh, that's a heavy duty built brush hog. No wonder I couldn't find that brush hog. There's some kind of old plow system, lawn mowers, truck beds, wheel rims, refrigerators, air conditioners, you name it, it's probably in this pile. Tillers, lawn mowers. So I'm thinking this is going to be a major job. Like I said, working on getting some other equipment, so we might hold off on this major project. I mean, there's everything in here on this project till we get some bigger equipment to help. There's 4 big nice pipes. I do got a space to use them in. Solid metal. Looks like maybe a well liner. I don't know. I don't know that much about this side, but it's all metal. But I'm saying there's a lot of, that'll take months probably to move all this stuff that's in here. So like I said, I'm going to start out at that end out there, and we're going to have us a cleaning journey here. I don't know what's in there. It's hard to tell, but that'll probably be the next project. I was going to combine it with cleaning this field, but there ain't no way. It's always something on the farm to do. But I had no idea what's out in here. There's tons of rebar. We'll be using that if we build our new barn. There's a lot of it in here. A lot of it's been stolen. There's some kind of part to a tractor too. I don't know what's in here, but this will probably be a really big job. I'd be bigger than this old boy can handle by itself. But I'm gonna start in here cleaning up on the next video. We're gonna call it a day on this one. We want to thank you all for tuning in to us. And if you can, go down and subscribe. It's hard to get these videos out there if you guys don't subscribe to them and give us a like and comment, because YouTube won't show them to you. So, and you know, we do all this work and stuff to try to bring you some videos for some entertainment, maybe a little education. But if you don't get to see them, you don't know they're out there. So, whew, I'm about to burn up. Thank you for tuning in to Fuller's Outdoor Country. And again, my name is Gary, and it's great to have you here. And I'd like to tell you, God bless you. See you later.